Robert Phillips. Welcome to this edition of Guitar Century Presents Classical Guitar Tips. Today's classical guitar tip concerns itself with ascending slurs, better known as hammer-ons. Hammer-ons are executed with the left hand. You place your finger on a note on the left hand, pluck the note with the right hand, and then using the left hand only, hammer the next finger onto the string. Just the way it's described, it's a hammer-on. Now the best way to develop that technique is to work in a higher position. It's a little bit easier up on the higher end of the guitar. So let's begin by putting your first finger on the second string, 9th fret. Pluck the note, and then take your left hand with the left hand, take the second finger and hammer it. Now, there's some subtle movement going on in my left arm and hand. I'm not relying entirely on the fingers to do the work. I'm going to exaggerate that movement slightly so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. I begin by playing the note with the right hand, plucking it, and my arm moves out slightly, and my hand turns out slightly, and then it comes in like that. Now that's an exaggeration of the actual movement. When I'm actually executing it in the real world, one wouldn't observe that kind of arm and hand movement. It'd be much more subtle. We can use the same type of movement going from the first finger to the third finger. And from the first to the fourth. So looking at that close up, and 1, 3, and 1, 4. Now that we've closely examined the movement that you use when articulating a hammer-on from 1 to 2, 1 to 3, and 1 to 4, let's try an exercise that will really help you to strengthen that particular set of movements. Begin by putting your first finger on the first fret, first string, pluck it, then hammer the second finger, then pluck the first finger, then hammer the third, pluck the first finger, hammer the fourth. Move to second fret. First finger, hammer the second. Now once you've finished the first string, you can move to the second string and do exactly the same thing and really repeat it on all the strings all the way up to the sixth string. And again, all the way up the neck. Now the movement going from the second finger to the third and the second to the fourth is essentially the same. So if we go up to ninth position, placing the first finger on the 9th fret and the second finger on the 10th fret, we're on the second string, play the note that you're holding with the second finger, pluck it with the right hand, then hammer the third finger, again, and we can do the same thing going from 2 to 4. Two, 3. And 2, 4. And notice, of course, that in each case my fingers are very close to the fret. I'm not playing back here away from the fret. I'm playing close. Like that. And just as we did an exercise to develop the hammer-ons going from the first finger, we can do the same sort of exercise beginning on the second finger. So if we begin in first position, first finger on and the second finger on, pluck the first string, hammer with the third, pluck the second, hammer with the fourth. Next position. And again, repeat that exercise on all 6 strings. And finally, let's take a close look at hammering from the 3rd finger to the 4th finger. This is probably the most difficult one to execute because the 4th finger is the weakest finger. And this is where using the arm and hand weight and strength to help it can be the most useful. So again, up in 9th position, 2nd string, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd fingers on the 9th, 10th, and 11th fret. Pluck the note where the 3rd finger is, and then hammer the 4th. And then, of course, the close-up of the 3rd to 4th. And of course, we can do a similar exercise to the one we did before, practicing going from the 3rd finger to the 4th finger. So again, placing the fingers in position on the 1st string and play the note, the G, where the 3rd finger is holding it down, pluck it, and then hammer the 4th finger. Next position. Next position. And of course, repeat this on all of the strings. Thank you for joining me, and until next time, keep practicing.